Really looking forward to this race. And we have got Oxford Brookes again, but it is their B crew. We saw the A crew be really dominant against Edinburgh University earlier. Well, they are up against lightweights from Harvard on that far side of the course of Kiel. The Crimson with the distinctive red and white blades. Can the heavyweights prevail over the lightweights?
We'll see. I mean, the conditions might favor them a little bit, but that Harvard crew is very, very tough, very seasoned. It looks like the heavyweights are here getting out. Oxford Brookes is getting out to a little bit of a lead, and they're getting outstroked a bit by that Harvard crew, and we'll see if they can hold on to that. But right now, Oxford Brookes seems to be establishing themselves in a great position to move through.
Yeah, the Oxford Brookes crew running with that same punchy style, punchy technique. Blades, I'd say they're a little far off at the front end of Kiel. What do you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit there, but they're also rowing with this bucket here, so that means they have two rowers behind each other rowing on the same side. And a lot of times that's for balance, and sometimes it's just the crew just happens to move better that way.
So Brookes come up. Well, I guess we're about halfway into the race now. And the stroke, Lorenzo Priviati, he was the foreman in the St Edward's crew that won the Princess Elizabeth last year. Famously won the Princess Elizabeth, beating St Paul's, going well this year. Elliot Overnell, well, he's the three-man just behind the stroke. He did his learning to row at Plymouth Amateur Rowing Club down in the West Country. And the two-man James Brown, I love his description. I mean, he says Kiwi, so he's obviously from New Zealand, but he calls himself a poet. So if you're watching this, James, just send in on social media one of your poems, and we'd love to read it out on air.
So there you go. Of course, you said James Brown, and I was thinking of music. So
yeah, funky.
You know, yeah. So we'll
Is
see
he
if
a favourite of yours?
He is. I actually got to play with him one time.
You are joking me.
I kid you not.
You mean play in a sense like guitar or
saxophone?
That is crazy. Akil Abdullah, not only has he won Henley and the Diamonds, not only is he USA Olympian, but he has played saxophone with the great, the one and only King of Soul, James Brown.
One of the highlights of my life.
Wicked. Apart from this commentary here, of course.
True, indeed. Yeah. You know, this Harvard crew is rowing well. I just think that the Oxford Brookes crew has a lot more power, and when you're rowing in conditions that are headwind, that means the wind's at your back. It can be a little bit harder for lighter crews.
So if you're watching from Harvard, these guys did so well. They beat Penn in the IRA's lightweight varsity 2V by 4 seconds. Harvard have had a fantastic year. They picked up a silver medal in the IRA's 1V, openweight 1V. But Ben Weatherwax, David Pickard, Mike Farley, Zach Mecca, and the Cox, you can see, well, that's the Brookes Cox. I was going to say that the Harvard Cox, Gillian Medina from Princeton, New Jersey, but that is the Brookes Cox, and it's Jaden Thompson, the 20-year-old, who represented South Africa. Now, I didn't know that in the Junior World Rowing Championships. These South Africans get everywhere.
Yeah, and their program is picking up some steam.
Yeah, so Brookes are now able to ease down. We've got that St Edward's lad. I wonder if that's a St Edward's cap he's got on in the stroke seat, or if that's just the blue cap. But St Edward's do have that blue colour, so it might be something, you know, reminiscent of his school days of last year. But
a little memento to keep him motivated.
Yeah. Oxford Brookes B progressed to add to the presence of Oxford Brookes. The A crew progressed earlier, but in the Prince Albert Challenge Cup, they now have their A and B crew. And the Harvard lightweights, great race from them. They rode well. They can be proud of what they've done. But Brookes go onwards and upwards.